Sawadi Krap. Well, today we thought we'd take Thailand News Today somewhere a little bit different. We all need a break, and no better break than one of the islands off the northeast coast of Phuket. Now this island is called Koh Naka Noi. It's a very small island, as the name would suggest. And this little place is called Ninya Beach. It's a beach club. It's an area where you can sort of camp, or as they call it, glamping. And I thought it would be a nice place to do the news. We'll have a chat to one of the owners a little bit later, but we've got to find a place to do the news. This looks nice. Thailand's double CSA has announced 1,335 new infections today after a slight dip in the 13-day surge yesterday. 1,326 of those new infections are local, not imported, and mostly from Bangkok. Today's tally takes the national total to nearly 36,000 since January 2020, when the first case outside China was detected in Thailand on January the 13th. The new infections have mostly emerged in Bangkok, with 351 cases. Surrounding provinces report an additional 115 infections. In other provinces, 877 people. It's also been reported today that 36 people are currently in a serious condition and 9 people are on ventilators. Meanwhile, in Prachuap Khiri Khan, officials have ordered the closure of high-risk venues such as pubs, bars, water parks, children's playgrounds, gyms, cinemas and game shops. The governor says restaurants can open, but no alcohol can be served. This includes the seaside town of Hua Hin. In Krabi, there's now a total of 11 infections, 6 new ones since yesterday. In Chonburi, which includes Pattaya, there were 99 new confirmed infections of COVID today, a similar number to the past few days. 42 out of Thailand's 77 provinces are now imposing restrictions on entry, either self-quarantine, COVID tests or other requirements. Phichit, Lampang and Udon Ratchathani are the latest to join the growing list. At this stage, the various provinces are coming up with their own measures, adding to the general confusion as people travel around the country for Songkran. Many of the provinces currently require quarantine for people who travelled from the 3 hot zone districts in Bangkok at the centre of the current cluster. The latest information is being added to this website, but it's in Thai. Now here's a list of the provinces currently imposing restrictions on entry as you travel. You can scroll through it if you're not interested. Thailand rang in another Lunar New Year, or Songkran, without its normal noise and celebrations yesterday, highlighting the impact that the current COVID outbreak is having. For the second year, the biggest Thai holiday was subdued without water splashing, parties or concerts. There were fewer official events compared to the pre-COVID days. Thailand's culture minister led officials in what was called a new normal preserving Thai culture event at Wat Arun in Bangkok. The temple was open while others were partially closed because of the pandemic. Other normally bustling areas in Bangkok were also silent as Songkran was cancelled due to what's being described as a third wave of COVID hitting the country by some media. Police in Bangkok are on the hunt for the owners of 2 nightclubs considered ground zero for the current clusters currently spreading around the country. The Crystal nightclub and Emerald Tonglaw 13 in the capital's fashionable Tonglaw district are currently closed. However, officials are now attempting to track down the real owners of both establishments. Authorities are examining ownership and shareholding documentation relating to the two venues after the Bangkok police chief confirmed a cluster of COVID-19 infections is believed to have spread from these clubs. The managers of both venues have been charged with violating the emergency decree and disease prevention regulations. The three nightlife venues in Phuket, thought to be behind a resurgence of COVID-19 in the southern province, have been closed as part of a wider temporary shutdown of nightlife on the island. It's not yet known if the owners will face prosecution. The Illusion and Shelter nightclubs in Bangla Road, Patong, along with the Cafe Del Mar Beach Club in Kamala, all held big parties during the weekend of April 2 to 4, with invited guests travelling from as far as Bangkok. A top UN official is warning that Myanmar could follow the path of Syria in terms of descending into a bloody civil war unless the violence subsides. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights is calling on all countries with influence to apply concerted pressure on the ruling military junta to end its campaign of repression and slaughtering its own people. She says neighbouring countries are especially being called upon. Obviously, that includes Thailand. She says the military has committed what amounts to crimes against humanity, and the human rights violations must be stopped. The country's armed forces, known as the Tatmadaw, attacked civilians last weekend with rocket-propelled grenades and mortar fire, killing at least 82 people. Credible reports also indicate that people are fighting back by using makeshift or primitive weapons, with clashes between the military and ethnic armed groups in Kan, Shan and Kachin states all picking up steam. At least 3,080 people are currently detained. There's also reports that 23 people have been sentenced to death following secret trials. Aung San Suu Kyi has not been seen since her arrest and is now facing even more trumped-up charges that could see her barred from political office or worse. The junta military has been killing innocent civilians and peaceful protesters since the coup began, censoring the media and shutting down the internet. Well, that's all the main news stories, but before we go, let's find out a little bit about where we came today. And this is Kun Nan, who is the, well, you call yourself the manager.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much, I've done everything from serving to booking and just pretty much everything.
Tell me a bit about the island.
The island,
it's a family affair, the setup here?
It's a family-owned island that we've been here for about 60 years now. Since
60?
Yes, since my grandfather. We used to have a pearl farm, but now no longer. So my cousin and I started to do beach camping for a few years, and then now we extended to we're making a little bit glamour, luxury beach camping.
You call it glamping?
Well, yeah, but it's just so...
It's relaxed,
it's
chilled.
Relaxed, chilled. And we also have a beach activities or beach bar and cafe where we have DJs every Saturday to come and just kind of have people come and do paddleboard, kayak, and just pretty much enjoy the beach and the sun.
It's very chilled. It's not 5-star. It's not luxurious. It's not pretentious. It's really, really relaxing. It's not a big area, but certainly you can sort of stretch out, and there's places to sit. How do people get here?
People get here from Apo Pier, or they can just get here on their own boat. But we do have a boat shuttles every 2 hours, and you can call or booking ahead of time.
Now, thank you for joining us, and thank you for inviting me out here today.
Thank you for visiting.
It's a nice way to do the news.
Yeah, out in the sun.
So from everybody at the Thaiger and Thailand News Today, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.